from our 7 Tasmania studios. Your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. Labor is claiming a Liberal backbench revolt over cost of living impact on regional Tasmanians scuppered the government's fire service reform. The path forward for funding our fire is now unclear as the threat of an early election looms.
Reforms to fire service funding have been parked after outcry over cost of living impacts.
We know that we need to find a better way to fund our emergency services because the demands on those services are very likely to increase.
Fire Minister Felix Ellis is now working on a new way forward. But emails obtained by 7 Tasmania News show Liberal backbenchers voicing deep concern about the financial impact of the previous model, particularly on rural and regional Tasmanians after an initial briefing in August. Jane Howlett questioning the lack of financial modelling, suggesting it would have a devastating effect on her upcoming re-election campaign and reserving the right to cross the floor.
His backbench is revolting about his decision to bring in a new tax and particularly the ham-fisted way he's gone about it.
The proposal eventually made public included an option that would lessen the blow in regional areas. But the member for Prosser remained concerned. That new model later also revealed to have been drawn up without Treasury advice.
If you're going to introduce a new tax, you've got to do it properly. Clearly, Minister Ellis hasn't done that from go to woe in this process.
Felix Ellis said in a statement today, Labor's playing with fire and remaining non-committal to any constructive pathway forward. It raises the question of where to from here, despite all-round acknowledgement that the fire service needs funding reform. Any new taxes could be political poison in a potential early election.
And I know that the Minister is absolutely committed to finding the best way forward for Tasmania.
A path forward with potential consequences. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasport says it's warning customers about further industrial action by marine pilots. With a bargaining dispute taking place, the Australian Maritime Officers Union members are banning nighttime services and communication with agents and schedulers. Tasport says it believes its proposal is fair and reasonable. Local pro-Palestine activists continued their roadside rallies today, marching through Launceston's Civic Square, repeating calls for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. More than 100 pairs of shoes were also laid out to represent the children caught up in the conflict.
Over 70% of those killed are civilians, and people don't equate to that. They're just numbers. We're saying they are more than numbers.
The group is calling on the federal government to step in and stop the violence. Tasmanians thinking about starting their own business have been given an extra leg up. The state government is launching a renewed guideline aimed at taking the guesswork out of the startup process.
Helping bring a bright idea to life. The updated guide for new small businesses, making the first step a little less daunting.
This is a really one-stop shop where you can get the answers to those most frequently asked questions.
The state government is lending a feeding hand, its online toolbox acting as a hub of information for those looking to take a leap.
Gives you tips on dealing with staff, of course, of dealing with customers and dealing with suppliers.
The new look guide hailed a handy tool for local restaurant owner Josh Brown. Ingredients to success he wishes were on the table when he first opened his business in 2020.
It's extremely challenging, and a guide like this answers so many questions that I would have had when I started.
The latest round of additional support, all part of a further effort to fire up the state's economy.
97% of all the businesses in Tasmania are small businesses, and we understand that that is the absolute engine room of our economy.
It's great to see a guide that's tailored to the Tasmanian business environment, and I got a lot out of it even after 3.5 years in the business.
Standing on a solid foundation to launch a business dream. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's Integrity Commission is on the hunt for a new CEO. The job advert placed in papers today. Michael Easton has been in the role since April 2020 and will remain with the organisation while the replacement is recruited. A government spokesperson slammed Labor claims of a secretive process, saying a Parliamentary Integrity Committee was advised of the resignation. The Jack Jumpers have bounced back from consecutive losses, defeating the NBL's ladder leaders. Playing in front of a home crowd, the match was made even more special with graphics to celebrate Pride Round.
Sizing up the NBL's top contenders, the Jack Jumpers under pressure to perform after losing in front of fans this time last week. The team taking a while to warm up against Melbourne United.
There's Ian Clark in the starting lineup.
An early timeout fixing their woes, the Jack Jumpers in front at quarter time.
JC became a beast. Full court pressure, he was doing his thing, and then we settled into the game, and there's always going to be a little nerves when it feels like playoff basketball in this arena and the fans are going crazy.
United unable to recover, struggling without Shea Ili and Joe Luala-Chul.
Our defense is slightly getting better here and there for the most part, and we obviously had a very nice offensive night, so just a really good job. Marcus was fantastic in his minutes out there.
Doyle, McVeigh and Magnay also dominating on court.
Stick together is the one thing we hear before every practice, and that's what we try to do each day, is just stick together and take each box as we go.
Their teamwork paying off, the Jack Jumpers hitting triple digits, leaving Melbourne in the dust.
The Tassie Jack Jumpers have defended the island. They bounce back in a big way.
A much-needed confidence boost for our players, but the win won't be going to their heads.
It's still a long way to go here with a lot of tough games ahead of us, and we'll see if we can build some momentum out of this.
The New Zealand Breakers next to beat on Friday. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. It was a cloudy and mostly dry day for the state with a few isolated showers. Well, I'm not sure where summer has gone. Hobart today 22, Launceston 20, 19 for both Devonport and Burnie. The state's top recorded on King Island today with 23, St Helens, Friendly Beaches, Grove and Bushy Park all 22, Flinders Island and Maria Island 21, Smithton and Low Head 20, Strawn 19, a little cooler in Laiwini with 19 degrees. Overcast conditions were seen over Tasmania today. Cloud is evident over the southeast of the country with mostly clear skies elsewhere in the south. A large low spirals over the NT, which continues to drive rain and storms over the far north of the country. Tomorrow, a weak cold front is passing southern Tasmania with a high pressure system extending a ridge into the Bight. The monsoon trough remains over the far north. Variable winds 10 to 20 knots in the morning, tending south to southwesterly during the afternoon, increasing to 30 knots in parts of the north and east. Southwesterly swells building up to 2 metres. Tomorrow, a strong wind warning has been issued for Storm Bay and also between Sandy Cape to Wineglass Bay. Wet weather expected for the south of the state tomorrow, Hobart and Richmond 20, 22 for Ooze. A shower or two also for Launceston 26, much the same in Devonport 25, Deloraine 23 with a 60% chance of rain. Partly cloudy in Burnie 23, a shower or two in Strawn 20, becoming windy on King Island, Curry expecting 20 degrees also. Soggy conditions for St Helens 23, Swansea 21, a shower or two for Whitemark 25 is the maximum. Forecast for Monday, isolated morning showers about southern and central areas, otherwise partly cloudy conditions until showers develop in the north and northwest during the evening. Tuesday, morning showers in the northwest, otherwise fine, apart from isolated showers during the afternoon. Wednesday, warm and humid with possible light rain statewide during the morning. Cloudy conditions will return in the afternoon with showers likely to develop about the west. Looking now to mainland conditions tomorrow, storms continue in Darwin with 33, 30 and sunny in Perth. Sunny skies also for Canberra and Sydney, sharing a top of 33. Melbourne can expect a shower or two with 21 degrees.